Things could all go horribly wrong at any minute. And the rubber chicken says, yes, Representative Lauren Boebert said the easiest way to make the Delta variant go away is to turn off CNN and vote Republicans. Hell, I know that's crazy, and I'm a rubber chicken. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, my friend. And it just may be time to start the rubber chicken party. Well, we can't talk about it now because it's time for Lewis Black's Rantcast number 48, entitled The Dogs Get Depressed. Based, of course, on a recent quote that I heard while watching the horrifying news from, I believe it's Surfside in Florida, out just outside of Miami, that condo. They had dogs there who do the searching, and the dogs, they said, get depressed when they don't find people and have to be taken off the site, the job that is, and be rehabilitated and worked with. The dogs get to imagine what if that the dogs, imagine what happens to the humans who have to deal with this. Imagine what's happened to all of those caregivers who've been through a horrific 16 months and continuing due to the Delta variant because of people like Lauren Boebert. Unbelievable. I'm not kidding about a rubber chicken party. Why not? They used to say a chicken in every pot. I think a rubber chicken in possibly every seat in Congress. And it might be the way to go. I mean, good God. You probably get more empathy from a rubber chicken. You're certainly getting more empathy from a dog. The dog gets depressed. I watch what's been going on over the past goddamn number of weeks, and in terms of week after week of talking about what's going on in these votes that they're having. You kind of go, where is your empathy, fuckers? The dog's got empathy. The fucking dog. Is that, do they have to train the dog to have empathy? I don't think so. But they may have to train humans. Certainly humans elected to Congress who don't seem to have any empathy at times to the people out there. Well, it's this money that they're getting. It's Christ that they're fucking, they need to do some goddamn research. Okay? This fucking, this fucking nonsense of just a completely year after year after fucking year of my life. Oh, those people, they're just taking advantage of the system. Right? Huh? Seriously? Not the corporations. No, not them. No, not the corporations that get all the perks from being here and move to another goddamn country. No, it's these people out there who have been fucking screwed over for years. All race, creeds, colors, religions, everything. And there's a real possibility, well, they're not coming back because, they're getting paid so well. They're not coming back because maybe they're trying to put their lives together. And maybe you could form a goddamn group, a Congress. You could get down and figure it out and get a group of people together and fucking see what's going on. Because I've got, it's coming from both sides. You basically go, the Democrats say what you expect them to say, the Republicans say what you expect them to say. The Secretary of Labor, the Democrat from Boston, whenever I hear that Sam Adams ad. So stop it. Why? Because the ad's been on a gazillion times. And I'm watching sports as a diversion. I'm even watching soccer, which I can't believe I'm doing that. I've been broken. That's what it's done to me. That's what the pandemic's done to me. I'm watching soccer, which I've said time and time again is like watching a geometry lesson unfold in front of me. But so the Secretary of Labor says that that in the states in which they have taken away this $300 that the federal government sent in terms of unemployment, that the job numbers haven't improved. Well, so then what is, if that's true, what's holding it up? And let's figure it the fuck out. Because I know from the limited travel that I've had recently, and my friends here in the city with businesses, that there have been problems. My friend Steve Olson, running the great, celebrating its 43rd year of business, the West Bank Cafe. Tough to get people to work there. Tough. I watched him last night. They've got a skeleton staff. I went to another restaurant I really like here. You want to get back to them. It was the two owners were working it, and the two owners were working it down at the West Bank. It was just the skeleton staffs, but no empathy from Congress. No, none whatsoever. They're just clocking it along. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you should send them down there. Maybe we should have them be trained with the dogs. I don't know. But happy 4th of July. Yes, sirree. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the 4th of July and then we kind of go into that weekend with the Supreme Court saying that there really is no problem with the kind of getting rid of some of the other parts of the Voting Rights Act, and that I don't have the energy to go into that. I don't. I work with the ACLU on, and I believe that you get as many people out voting, and you do as much as you can, and you don't create problems. And then meanwhile, in terms of this, they've shut down another building in Florida and told people to start moving, and they're gonna let the other part of the condo that's gonna go down. There's a hurricane approaching. It's just one chapter after another. But now people will start checking the housing, and of course, this is an infrastructure problem. No, and it's certainly not a problem. The federal government did this. No, who did it was states. I think didn't oversee this, did they? The state of Florida, which has done such a magnificent job with their vaccination record. And, don't worry about letting people on boats who haven't been vaccinated. Fuck you. God in heaven. Happy 4th of July. Don't blow off your hands, please. It's Bill, and what do? They the Independence Day, they let Bill Cosby out. Huh. You search for breath. Well, it was, and he's not because he's innocent, because the guy who defends the former leader, and you saw him, and whether I don't care what side you're on, you saw him. They even had that during the second impeachment, the one they brought in, and they basically somebody had to take him and say, "Oh, no, you're not." He's the one who kind of signed a deal with Cosby, and Cosby admitted to doing all sorts of things. And then they said they couldn't use that testimony against him because the guy said they wouldn't use the testimony against him. And I'm supposed to. And it's just, it flips me. I can't imagine what it's doing to the women who've been through this. All of the women who've had to deal with this on one level or another. Who are looking for some form of justice at the end of the day, and he's running his mouth off. But I noticed they were closing one of the venues I used to play, Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan closed just a few days ago. It's closing down. I went online to just check that to get the date. It was 2010, and I believe I'm pretty sure I was there with Robin, who was just magnificent during those tours. I thought we were there twice. I know we were in Kandahar twice at the soccer stadium there, and I know that Kathleen was there on that tour. A big Air Force base, and I think the Germans were there, the Canadians, and it was just another great show. And I was hoping to get it on my tour this time. There's arguments both ways of how we're doing this. I'm not sure. I really am not someone to ask in terms of this, but I don't think it's really great to have the Taliban back, but you're going to have to ask countries to deal with this stuff. But once again, the women there who have known freedom for quite some time and a kind of been able to kind of get degrees and do things they'd never had been able to do under the Taliban. And they keep saying, there's a generation that never knew the Taliban. Well, you just hope, beyond hope, that the Afghani government can keep these maniacs at bay in terms of that kind of madness. And once again, the dogs get depressed, not the Taliban. Not the Taliban. I'm depressed. I'm not really depressed. But I'm okay. I'm always just okay. And my energy sucks. I still can't get it kicked in. Well, maybe you should exercise. No, exercise does not help. I've done all sorts of exercise, take long walks, do all sorts of stuff. It still doesn't matter. I'm still kind of fighting to find my energy. And so that's a minor depression. But I did have a successful dental surgery, my 400th time to try to get these implants in. And hopefully we got it this time. Aren't you glad I'm sharing this with you? As I begin to become once again, and next week, this coming week, they will be put in. I will have 2 new teeth. And they won't be my teeth. They'll come from a factory somewhere. And I will once again move on to becoming the shadow of my former self. And I'm going to maybe have to find one of these dogs who will have some empathy for me. Maybe a pet. That's what I need. Also, I switched this week to the CVS. I was forced to switch, not this week, but I was forced now by my new prescription people, the ones who help me with my health insurance. You have someone who you go to for that, who helps you lower those prescription prices. And ours, the SAG after went to CVS Caremark, who's now taking over apparently the Directors Guild and a whole number of other places. And they are becoming the service. They're the ones who do they're the ones who you go in and they do the copays and everything. And and it's CVS. And why? Here's where you come down to monopolies. CVS has all of these fucking drugstores. Do they need to also run a prescription service? I say fucking no. Get a prescription service to run a prescription service the way a prescription service should be run. Don't give them both. They don't fucking deserve both. They run drugstores. That's enough. You make your fortune there, so that there is another group that has to deal with them, so that they can fight in order, hopefully, to protect us. And we're the only people on earth who don't, as a group, negotiate drug prices. No other people on earth do that. No other people. Nobody. Us. Why? Because we're dumb shits. That's why. Because we're afraid it's called socialist. No, it's called we've got the power. That's what it's called. It's drugs. It's what stands between us and death sometimes. And I've talked about that too. I had to get this thing that I need, and I need it. And I have to pay full freight for it, and other people have to pay full fucking freight for it. I'm lucky that I can afford it. There are tons of people who can't afford it. Why the fuck should they have to kill themselves or worry about whether they can afford it or worry if they should have it every other month? It's fucking absurd. You know, if we decide this is, if we as a group make the decision that it's empathy for all of us. Okay? There's a group that can pay for it outright. Most people can't pay for it outright. That's why you get everybody together and we've got the leverage. And then we force their fucking hand. We go, we're not going to pay that for it, so fuck you. And then we negotiate. That's how you do it. They do it in everything else. Okay? God damn it. I've become inexplicable. I feel sometimes that I'm talking and I'm just blithering away. And no help, not helping. But CVS Caremark isn't helping because they forced me to get 2 of my maintenance drugs, which I used to get a block and a half away. Now I got to walk over to CVS to get it. And I'm thinking, what bullshit that they're forcing me to go to their goddamn fucking drugstore because they run the prescription service so that I can stand around and while I'm waiting, possibly pick up some new toothpaste, maybe a hairbrush if I still need one, huh? Maybe some, sunblock, whatever else the fuck. There's some trash bags. Oh, fuck, I need this too. And look at that. I've just walked out of CVS with $13 in maintenance drugs and $350 in shit that I need for the apartment. Fuck you, CVS. Fuck you. It's bullshit. And what do I wish? What's stupid is if Dwayne Reed, Walgreens, had taken it over, which is the one I go to, which started as a mom and pop store, at least a private drugstore, and then was bought out by Dwayne Reed and then bought out by Walgreens. And if they had done it, I wouldn't be telling you this story. I'd be going, oh, I've got away with this. I just walk a block and a half of them. They're right on top of their shit. But nope, they gave it to CVS, and they shouldn't have given it to Walgreens either. And I don't know where Walgreens was on this. That means Walgreens probably buying something else, and it'll be fucking me too, and probably you. And that's what's been going on. Okay, maybe what we should do is with the month of August, before they really have to come back in the fall and start doing their shit, and before they have to go out there and start trying to get votes again, which is they do every fucking day anyway, is maybe get Congress to go wherever they rehabilitate those dogs. That'd be good. Maybe get them together, put them in a pound with them, huh? So that maybe they can learn something, right? Maybe they can learn something from an Irish retriever. Maybe the retriever can take the golden retrievers, huh? Maybe that golden retriever can teach them something. That'd be nice. That would be a start. A few things before we go into that good day or night or whatever it is. In Ollie, Kentucky, a huge country music festival billed as a redneck rave descended into violence and mass arrests last week. The word redneck rave would have been kind of a tip off to something happening. And I'm not being, am I showing empathy? No, I may have to go to I'm not showing empathy to rednecks. So I could be really joining up with a bunch of the congressmen at one of the pounds where some of the dogs are being rehabilitated or wherever they send them to. This 5-day event, the Redneck Wave, which brought more than 20,000 people to a tiny town without a single stoplight, quickly became chaotic, leading to 14 arrests and 48 people charged. Quickly, a 29-year-old man allegedly strangled a woman to unconsciousness in an argument over a blanket. At what point doesn't the brain kind of click in and go, how much would you have to have done? Whatever to drugs, drink, whatever to be fighting over and not even fighting, arguing over a blanket, huh? Two intoxicated friends got into a fight that left one of them with a slit throat. Excellent. And one partygoer drove over a log that went through the floorboard of his vehicle and impaled him in the abdomen. Another man had a finger crushed by a car. Sheriff's deputies set up a traffic stop outside the event and made an arrest on their first stop after finding methamphetamines and marijuana. We were like, well, this doesn't bode well for the weekend, said the sheriff. Nope. Glad I missed that. Glad I missed that. Maybe I'll go next year, though. The Germans, in light of what's happening in Afghanistan, they're withdrawing too, but they've prioritized things. They've announced that before they withdraw their troops, all 1,100 of them, they will fly home their huge stockpile of alcohol. Yep, they certainly have their priorities in order. More than 60,000 cans of beer and hundreds of bottles of wine and champagne. Wow. Before they get the troops out. Yeah, in case they attack Bagram, and we don't want to lose that. You guys hold the fort down because we got to get that shit out of there. But couldn't you leave us a Stubenwasser? No, we must take the Stubenwasser home. So many people have been asking for the Stubenwasser, and we must take it. But and we need our Rieslings. We need our Rieslings now. Please let go of that bottle. Let go of it. No, we may have to court-martial. It's unbelievable. I can't even do a German accent. But isn't that something? Yes, sirree. You got to admire that. Just the balls of the government going, hey, fuck you, we're taking the alcohol first. And then, but knowing the troops go, oh, I understand. Quickly, here's a shocker. Karen, the name, has plunged 171 places in the annual rankings of popular baby names. It comes from the Social Security Administration, in case you're wondering what else they do. Besides sending those checks out, that socialist check that all the people who bitch about socialism get the check. But Karen there's only 325 babies were named Karen in 2020. Wow. That is low. That is a low ball. It was 33,000 in 1965. But it'll come back. Maybe it'll come back as crayon. Yellow crayon, green crayon, orange crayon. Who knows? We used to call kids Karen, but now we call them crayon. Finally, and the most interesting, I think, piece of news I have for you is that doctors told an Australian woman who woke up with an Irish accent following tonsil surgery, an Australian woman who woke up with an Irish accent after tonsil surgery, that she may be stuck with the accent for life. Can you imagine that? Imagine having whatever accent you're, man. It is just so sudden and so bizarre, said Angie N. 28, an Asian woman who has never been to Ireland. I've heard of this happening before, a few times, and it's weird. But I mean, that poor Australian woman. That's just, and you start hearing yourself speaking in that brogue, you got to go, wow, what is that? Maybe Kathleen was, maybe she was German and had a German accent and had surgery, didn't tell me about it. And that's how she got her Irish brogue thing going. Of course, she can do a million. A variety, she can do every accent in the world. But I've got to tell her about that. It's, wow. It makes you wonder. Maybe I had tonsil surgery. Maybe I was, maybe I had another really great accent. God knows what it would be. French, if I could even do a French accent. But that's it from here. Another fabulous week as we trundle toward, hopefully, better times. But I'm going to have to see it. Okay, I'm going to have to hope that we get the empathy factor up like the pooches are. Okay, I got to really hope for that. I got to hope for the fact that there's no one like this Jim Walsh of Aberdeen, Washington, the state senator. He showed up at a Lacey Church basketball gym to give a speech to conservative activists while wearing a yellow star affixed to his shirt, the one that the Jews used to have to wear by the Nazis in order to identify them so that they could eventually take them off. And he said the yellow star in his shirt in terms of the vaccine stuff. I can't even, my brain just looks at this stuff and it just goes, really? And the fact that you have to, you really should get this vaccine that we're forcing these people to is just that we're all Jews now. Well, you don't have to really get it. Nobody's taking you to a concentration camp, and the fact that you don't know history, and maybe someday, we had some time off, and I don't know if it helped. I hope it helped all of you. I want to thank you all for continuing to send in your raves and your rants and your stories and your tales, whatever you've got. Send it. I'll try to get up onto the air, and I do hope I, once again, do it justice. July 26th, just a reminder, up in Chautauqua for the first show. Could be the end of the career show. Could be, wow, that's enough, Lewis, time to go home. If you can join us, you may want to join the fan club. I'll keep repeating that because it beats, if you're going to see the show, it beats Ticketmaster. You're going to be able to get the best seats at the best price. That's just the way it is, with a lot of perks, and as many as we can get you. And good luck with all that's ahead. I do hope you continue to have, or that your summer grows and is better and better and better, and that that we're able to really flourish again. And if not as a people, at least as maybe a neighborhood. I'm wishing nothing but the best for you this week. And as always, it's been a pleasure spending time with you. And I wish I could keep these things shorter, but I just start babbling because I don't get out enough. And I think we all should. But if you do, don't get near people who are still need to get vaccinated. And maybe, if you could, get somebody to vaccinate themselves this week who hasn't been. Maybe. Good luck. Or get them no, I won't even say it. A yellow star. Stop it. God, what's the matter with people? No empathy. This just came in from Catherine Murphy. So I bought a brand new Ford Escape. Within 1,600 miles, it was in the shop, unable to be driven. Oh, they gave me a loaner. A damn Hyundai Accent. This car is so low to the ground, I call it exercise getting in and out of it. Now, I'm waiting for a part, but because the assembly line needs this part more than me, I am now into a 3-week wait for my car to be fixed. Now my new car is sitting back on the dealer's lot, and I'm screwed. Did I contact Ford? Yes, but I had to do it the old-fashioned way, by snail mail, since their chat feature on their site said, "We're too busy now, try later." No email address supplied, so I had to hone my skills in mean letter writing. Actually, it felt good. Did I get an answer? No. So my new defective Ford sits on the lot waiting for a part while they keep the assembly line going, making more defective Fords. The ones they screwed up just don't count worth shit. And I get to drive this shitty Accent. Good thing it's summer, because this car would probably kill me in the winter. I live north of Syracuse. We all know how much you love Syracuse, Lewis. Well, I do love that, that barbecue, dinosaur barbecue up there. And I did love that rant. Thank you, Catherine Murphy. Thank you. A rant from Lewis Tenney. I've been wanting to purchase an Xbox for my son for almost a year now. He's a great kid who's endured the shitstorm of all that COVID has given us, along with a cross-country move and his elderly grandparents moving in while remodeling during his senior year. Wow, we are assholes. He may write you next. Anyway, back to the Xbox. What the actual fuck? How can the supply of Xbox continually be bought by other companies who then jack up the price to double the MSRP? Okay? Is that legal? Couldn't someone do that with potatoes or gas? I got really excited the other day when the Microsoft website led me to Walmart.com. They were in stock for $900 fucking dollars. Now Walmart is in on it, so the blueprint is now here for taters. Better saddle up, you fucks. No taters for your Xbox munchies unless you got the bucks. End rant. Thanks, Lewis. L-O-U-I-S. I'm an L-E-W. But always nice to meet another Lewis. Jan Knepp is pissed. The Small Business Administration withholding Restaurant Revitalization Fund grants for minority-owned new businesses because some fuckwit in Texas says it's unconstitutional. The Small Business Association then gives the money to non-minority businesses. Woman-owned businesses are minority businesses in this country. Woman getting screwed again. Oh, sorry, Jan, but thanks. Mark Epping Jordan keeps it short and sweet. Hi, Lewis. Just watching the 6 o'clock national news. Why the fuck is it news that the vast majority of people being hospitalized and dying from COVID are unvaccinated? You mean just like every other fucking lethal infectious disease we have a motherfucking vaccine for? Stop the fucking presses. Yep, the 6 o'clock news can make you crazy, Mark. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. It is produced by James Salkind. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast. And most of all, thank you, all of you who ranted so well on this show.